Hey everyone, it's Michaela from Ascend Smarter Intervention, and I wanted to jump in today with this video to talk about how to take our reading instruction online. Both our families and students in our private practice, as well as a lot of the teachers, SLPs, and interventionists that we work with, have been looking for resources in terms of online learning due to all of the current health concerns and the restrictions on meeting in large groups, specifically like in the classroom. Now, I know that transitioning to an online space can feel really overwhelming, especially when you're trying to teach 25 to 30 kids in a classroom, or even just with one kid in an online or one-on-one session. So I wanted to give you our 3 tips to making it easier and more effective. First, I highly recommend using Zoom. This is an online video conferencing platform similar to Skype that you can use to video call your students or hold meetings with large groups of students, depending on the plan with them that you have. It's actually what I'm using right now to record this video. So I highly recommend that. Like I said, you can host one-on-one or small group meetings via Zoom in real time, or like I'm doing now, you can record videos ahead of time and then post them for your students to watch later. This is especially helpful if you are a teacher and you're trying to batch your videos or make a ton of lessons at once to then post for your students to watch throughout the week in an online platform that your school might offer for you. The other really cool thing about Zoom is that you can share your screen to ensure that you and your student are seeing the same workbook pages or the same thing at the same time. So to do that, let me pull up our screen here. All you have to do is open up your lesson. This is also why I highly recommend having an online curriculum or having your lessons scanned in if possible based on the curriculum that you use so that you can pull it up online. As you can see, as I'm navigating my website, you have the ability to see what I'm doing as well. So you can go through and pull up the student workbooks. You can go through and pull up items that you want to see that you don't want students to see. For example, the instructor manual or any kind of spelling words or phonological awareness questions or things like that. So if we were to pull up the student workbook, you would have the pages up while your students are looking at them as well. And you can run the session the same as you would in an in-person lesson. I typically have my students go through their phonogram drill, their decoding review, and then we'll get into the lesson. Now, the other cool thing about Zoom, it's an awesome platform, is that you can write on the screen and have students write on the screen with most devices. We have had a little bit of trouble with that functionality based on the device you use or your student is using, but typically if you can have a student write on the screen, that is ideal. All you have to do is use their annotate button and pull up the draw and you'll be able to write as if it's a pen or a pencil. Now, obviously my handwriting is not nearly as good online as I would like to think it is in person, and your students won't be either, but it does allow them to write on the screen. You also have a highlighter function, so you can highlight words or highlight vowels in your words. They have different shapes that you can use. I don't know why it always pulls up something different when I go to click on that. So you can have the students circle certain words, and they do have a text box as well so that they can type instead of write if that's more effective for you. Now, that would be how I would handle the workbook. Typically, I will have my students have it in front of them as well if they already have the printed copy or if mom or dad can print it out for them so that they can be transferring things into their notebook as well to keep for reference with home practice activities or their homework throughout the week. The other thing that I would pull up with students, let me click into this here, is Zoom's whiteboard. The same functionality will work here where you can write on the screen or you can type, and this is really helpful for spelling words or sentence dictation or creation activities. Now again, if the students can be writing, that's ideal. If they can't be, typically I'll have them spell their words on either a whiteboard or one of the little personal whiteboards and hold it up to show me, or I'll have them spell the words by hand and then orally tell me how they produce that word. So if they were spelling back, I would have them write it in their book and then tell me back, B-A-C-K, so that I can be confirming that they have the right spelling as well. The other website that we like to use is called Whizemo. I'll pull that up here as well for you to see. And Whizemo is a great website where they have different letter tiles and colored tiles that you can use. You can build word lists in here and workbooks. We do have an entirely different video that walks you more in depth through Whizemo that I'll link in the description. But I really like this because it offers more of that multi-sensory instruction feel that's often lacking in an online-based instruction. So what I like to do is have them use these color tiles specifically for things like phonological awareness. So if I ask them to tell me the sounds in back, they can pull these down, b, a, k. And then if I said change the b in back to p, they can manipulate it, ack, pack, just like they could with a Unifix cube or some kind of chip in person. This is really helpful with students, again, as long as your device allows them to control the screen with their remote control access, they'll be able to slide those different tiles around just like you would be able to use a chip or a block in person. So our first tip was use Zoom. I know that at the time I'm recording this video, they are currently running a promotion for teachers as long as you have a school-based email address to get their paid account for free. And that would allow you to have multiple people in a session with you for longer than 40 minutes. Now, if you're watching this video later on, I can't say if that's still going to be the case, but again, they are running that promotion right now. So if you're watching this video this week, go ahead and jump on that. I will link their website below. Step 2, I would get a Whizemo account. We use their basic account. I think it's $40 a year. They do have a free version as well, so definitely look around their website. I will also link that in the description. And our third tip is to have those online lessons. Now, if your curriculum that you use is not online, or if you're making up lesson plans as you go, you can definitely still hold an online lesson. It's just really helpful for the students to be able to see the workbook when you're sharing your screen. So I highly, highly recommend using an online curriculum or scanning yours in, like I said earlier, if you have that capability with the curriculum that you use. If you're currently looking for a curriculum, I will link ours down in the description as well. But like I said, anything that you have, your students are going to be so lucky to have this instruction, especially in a time right now where they're not getting a lot of face-to-face instruction due to the schools closing. Now, before I let you go, my little bonus tip here is to give yourself some grace as you learn this new online platform. It can be a little bit tricky, but your students won't know if you mess up. It's going to be so much better than them just trying to do this on their own. It allows them to see you and interact with you, and on the flip side, for you to see them and interact with them. Give them some grace as well as they learn these new platforms because it's going to be new for them too. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe. We put up new videos all the time with different intervention tips and tricks. And we look forward to getting through this online instruction together. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.